Hello, good day, and welcome to another episode of One More Round, the Rocky Series podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and returning this week, we have the lovely Kyle. Welcome back. We missed you.
I missed you guys. I was walking downstairs to get my computer set up. I'm like, geez, I feel like I haven't podcasted forever. And I actually had forgotten that I missed the last one. I'm like, it doesn't feel like 2 weeks. And that's because it wasn't.
It was
been a long
4.
time.
Well, I always say how fast things go when we do our show bi-weekly, more or less, and I'm always amazed, like, what, like, in a good way. Oh, we're here again, but then how fast 2 weeks actually goes. So it's kind of scary. It's kind of weird. Uh, Katie, you look very lovely today, by the way. Your hair, I notice. Is this a new trend? Because my wife's doing it now. There's more full body in the hair. Like my wife's doing it too with her hair. She's doing this, like, I don't know what she's doing, but she's putting this product in her hair where it makes it like fuller, like it comes out.
Uh-huh.
It looks like yours is not as straight. Am I over?
Well, I have long hair, so I can
Yes.
do a few different things with it. I can wear it straight, wavy, curly, somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
And so I kind of try and mix it up. But yeah,
Well,
when it's straight, but when it's curly, you can,
get the
it's more
body.
voluminous. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it looks great. Kyle, you look great with your hair too. My voluminous hair.
The same haircut I've had for decades. Yes.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way. The haircut works for me. I think I'm just gonna die with the short hair.
Yeah. Whenever I get a haircut, like, if my wife gets a haircut, it's like expected when she comes home for me to make a comment, right? As you would. Say, oh, I love your hair, honey. And I always make a teasing comment when I get back from a haircut. She usually doesn't say anything. And I'm like, hi, do you notice my hair? She's like, it's the same haircut every time, Kyle.
If you did something different with it, she would.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do a mohawk
God.
next time.
Reverse mohawk.
Well, we want to thank Jared again for filling in for Kyle last week. Jared did a great job. He's got the great podcasting voice and he great insights. Unfortunately, Katie's going to be gone for the next 2 episodes, so our viewership and our downloads will decrease quite a bit. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything because now people aren't even going to bother to download the next.
Is it
episodes.
really going to be? God, it's going to be a long time since
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
If we should maybe look into now with AI getting like an AI Katie to just have some pre-programmed lines so we can have her say.
I see my value. I can
we prefer real Katie, but if you're gonna ditch us, we gotta have something to fill the gap. There isn't another Katie out there. You can replace a Kyle. You can't replace a Katie.
That's true. She's got gaps. We got gaps. AI will fill those gaps.
Yeah, it will fill those gaps.
Okay, so yeah, I have a couple of people that I might reach out to for the next couple of episodes. So stand by for those invitations. One of them is actually one of our very frequent commenters, but that's Andy. I'm gonna reach out to him and his partner Evan. They run the Van Damme podcast on our network, and I'm gonna see if they would be willing to fill in for one or both shows. One, because Andy comments so much anyways, he might as well just come on the show and tell us his thoughts live, and he's really great at what he does. And Evan will just rein Andy in. That seems to be Evan's job. So we'll see if they would be willing to come on. We'll make that happen. But speaking of that, Andy did leave us some comments on our last episode there.
It's true. He says, in reference to the deleted scene of Rocky checking on Robert with his friends there in the basement. The basement scene is in the work print the basement scene in the work print is the best example of how great the movie could have been. Cutting Rocky's walk down the stairs creates one of the biggest continuity errors ever.
Okay, so yeah, I stumbled on my words there. I'm confused about what the continuity part he's talking about. Because remember, the scene was just him going down to talk to Robert after Robert said, he thinks he knows me. It was that scene. Then he goes down to talk to Robert in the basement with his friends when they're listening to rock and roll music. I'm just trying to figure out the continuity part.
Because they still included the scene where they still have like a disagreement or an argument, right?
Yeah, they still had that in the original cut of him talking to. I guess the idea we don't see Rocky get to the basement. I don't know. again, maybe if Andy's on the next episode, he can clarify, or in the comments, what he meant by continuity. That's all. Other than that, I agree. The workers' print again. The workers' print shows us that a better film was there with some of those scenes. I think at the end of the day, that we could agree on that. I just don't know about the continuity talk. Okay.
Also, more stairs.
More, more stairs. Indeed. Katie with the stairs.
He then, in reference to the product placement that Tommy Gunn wore, this is wild. I can't believe I never noticed it.
Okay, don't say it just yet. So Kyle, Andy said that Tommy had a real business product placement on his outfit at some point in the film. Myself, Jared, and Katie could not for the life of us figure out what it was on our last episode. And we came to the conclusion that it might have been his pony shoes. Have you ever heard of pony shoes?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, we had never heard of pony shoes. Jared had heard of pony shoes, and those were actually the brand shoes that Tommy wore in the film. They're legit brand and boxer shoes, apparently. But we were wrong. Andy gives us the correct answer, and it was. I'll give you a hint, Kyle. It was on his cap, his baseball cap. After
Little Caesars. Yeah,
Wow.
Little Caesars. That's right. I always found that odd that he was wearing a Little Caesars hat.
I've never noticed it before. God.
Good job.
Very good. It is. Yep.
Yeah, we
Okay.
couldn't figure it out. We went the whole episode. We and so Andy came back and he told us it was Little Caesars. That's the answer there. And now I see it, but I just never. The fact if you had told me that clue, Kyle, last week or last recording, it's on his baseball cap, I still wouldn't. I probably would have said Nike,
Okay, yeah.
Adidas.
I had to zoom in on the photo. Like, I feel like I've never seen this movie, or maybe only seen it once, like on a resolution clear enough to actually see what was on his hat.
Mandela effect.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, for some reason, at some point watching that film, that stuck out to me. And I was like, why did they pick Little Caesars? Like, why is that in there? And I think it was because, like, I didn't understand the idea of product placements yet. Like, I think, like, I didn't understand, like, the heavy Nike product placement in Rocky 3, the Adidas product placement in Rocky 4. Little Caesars is odd, though, because it's not, like, see, Nike and Adidas are, like, at least athletic type brands.
Yeah, Little Caesars does stand out.
Little Caesars is just really shitty quality pizza. So
That somebody,
wasn't that-
the boxers would never eat. Like, they would never eat, like, junk food.
Well, maybe
Probably.
after the fight, that's a
Yeah.
celebratory. That's a
Yeah, I guess.
celebratory meal of the fight. Yeah. Okay.
He says, in reference to Duke's long game, geographical locations, and more timeline issues. Did Duke set up residence and offices in Philly just for this scheme? I'm guessing the Kane fight. Oh, sorry. I for some reason, when he says Duke to me is Tony Burton.
Oh, sure. No,
Oh,
George
yeah,
Washington,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah. So, okay. Reframe it for Katie's brain. This is
No worries.
George Washington Duke. Did Duke set up residence and offices in Philly just for this scheme? I'm guessing the Kane fight was at the Spectrum. He shows up at Andy's very quickly after the press conference. A scene showing Rocky and his family reunited would have helped here, along with a small time jump for Tommy to confront Rocky. It's all too convenient.
Yeah,
of course.
it is very.
Of course,
I love how
yeah.
all the major fights take place at the Spectrum. Like, why is I guess Tommy did train out of Philly, so the idea might have been like, this is Tommy's stomping grounds, just like it was Rocky's stomping grounds. He's Rocky's puppet, so of course he has to have his major fight there. Maybe.
I
Well,
would say that. Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
No.
Katie.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, thanks. I would say, like, yeah, it is odd. You wouldn't Philly that you do have fights there. It's not like you wouldn't, but it is awfully convenient that you have all these major fights in Philly. It this time you actually have a lot of fights in Atlantic City, which is
Mhm.
just down the road from Philly. I don't know exactly how long Atlantic City is away. I think maybe it's like an hour or something.
Okay.
So
All
it's
right.
like, to me, that makes more sense. You have a fight there or in New York.
I think Philly for for this fight is because Rocky is the draw. Rocky managing Tommy is
Yeah.
the big
Yeah.
draw for people. Like,
That's what tickets were already sold. Tickets were
Yeah.
already sold.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you could make that argument for the Rocky universe that, like, Rocky in this world, Philadelphia probably pre-1975 is not a major fight destination, but it became one because all these big fights took place in Philly.
Hmm.
Even though in Rocky 3, the Madison Square Garden was, I think, the first fight against Clubber, and you see Rocky fighting at like Caesar's Palace and places like that. But you could, I think it's like a legitimate good point that you can say that Rocky has made Philly a boxing destination in this universe.
Well,
Yeah,
not only
yeah.
that, just that this is a title fight for Rocky's robot. This is Rocky's
Yeah.
protege. Therefore, it only makes sense to have it in Philly, Rocky's, hometown. Now, as to whether Duke set up residence or offices in Philly,
Yeah, that's just again. I think the
yeah.
idea being that everything is Philly centric. So now George Washington Duke just happens to work out of there the same way that Apollo did for the first Rocky film, and then on top of that, yeah, the fight happens. They have that press conference. And they're already at Andy's bar with all in the same day.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's just so close and so easy, and yeah.
I think that's honestly one of the reasons why Philadelphians love this movie so much, because like Philadelphia is an often ignored city. It's a big major city, but it's like it's sandwiched between New York and DC, which are both way more important and well known. So it's kind of like Philly's kind of forgotten about a lot of the time, and so it's like the idea of having this movie where everything happens in Philly and all the fights are in Philly and people have their so Philly centric, like that's got to feel good if you're a Philadelphia viewer of this film.
Yeah,
Certainly.
Yeah.
I guess I would. I mean, 1990. I would argue that Duke could easily be flying back and forth for all of these major events.
Like from New York or somewhere like that?
Wherever he lives. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
From even
Yeah,
if he
like-
lives in LA, he could easily just be flying once a week.
Yeah,
to
like New
Philly for
York is
stuff.
90 miles away from Philly, roughly, I think. And I don't know
It's
what
easier
it's
probably
like
just to
in
drive.
traffic getting there. I know by
Right.
train it took like how long was it? Like an hour and a half to get to Philly. Like it's not.
Can you imagine did Duke and Tommy on the train?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so
See,
it's
like you
possible.
could argue, if the fight was in Atlantic City, you can get to Duke's within an hour,
Mhm.
like pretty easy, I think. But I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that fight was in Atlantic City. There's no evidence for that whatsoever. Like it's, from what they show you, everything was in Philly. So
I think we're all led to believe it's Philly. It's all Philly
Yeah.
centric. Yeah. Okay. Next comment there from him.
Yeah, I was just making sure we
Oh.
addressed everything that he brought up. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, this is the
Yeah.
best comment ever. He says, in unity for Katie's love of Over the Top. Katie, not a year goes by where I don't watch Over the Top on heavy rotation. It's horribly underrated. Get past the premise and it's very entertaining.
what's Over the Top?
Oh my God, Kyle.
Shit.
Oh, Kyle, you joking?
I'm
The
honestly
movie,
not
the arm
joking.
wrestling movie. The arm
No,
wrestling
I've never
movie?
watched it. I've never heard of it.
Yes, you have. Kyle, this
I
is
have
an
not.
impossibility.
I can
He is a
maybe
little bit
watch
younger
it
than us.
tonight.
Don't forget, he is a little bit younger than us, and that's actually it does cover like it came out when I was 10. So
Also,
I
it
think,
came out when I was like 1 year, because you're born in
It was
75.
like
I was
87.
1 when it came out. Yeah.
No, it was
Oh.
87. So
Yeah,
you were
okay.
87,
you were
okay.
either way, like I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I
either
don't know
way,
why I never found that at Blockbuster or something, right?
yeah.
Because
Or
a lot of
it would
like,
be
like
on.
we were talking about The Breakfast Club on the other podcast, right?
Mhm.
And that movie came out the year I was born, and I still had seen that. So I don't know how that one slipped through, because I would have loved to see an arm wrestling movie as a kid.
Well,
Over
it
the
was
Top, I'll have to
also
watch that.
it was on heavy rotation on like a TBS or a
TBS
TNT or like one of those
Yeah.
channels a lot. Like I watched it on TV a lot, but it's Sylvester Stallone. And it gets made fun of a lot because it's one of those, it's a Canon movie, like the production company Canon that's notoriously
okay.
bad. And it's not a good movie, but it is so good. It's one of those.
Well, I have tomorrow off, so maybe tonight I will watch Over the Top.
Report back because
Yeah, I would love to hear.
Ryan and
I'd love to hear
Jared,
it.
Ryan lost respect for me because I truly not
No,
ironically
respect for you.
Hey, Kate,
not
he
ironically
didn't
love
lose.
it.
I'm sure he didn't lose respect for you. He probably just never had respect for you.
Yeah, it's true.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you, Andy. I love it.
Yeah, there's more coming. Just brace yourself. But The thing is, I probably am in the I'm in the unsilent minority or whatever that is, the unsilent majority, whatever Paulie says. This is very
Yeah,
confusing.
yes, we're the unsilent majority.
Yeah, where I feel like yes, objectively you're right. It's not a good film, but that's the problem with that film. And I don't want to over talk about this film, but I feel like I love bad films.
Yeah.
I'm not a what do you call it? I'm not a snob. Actually, I love a bad film. I can have fun with a bad film. For some reason, that film just rubs me the wrong way. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the arm wrestling sport. I don't enjoy the real arm that breaks. And I don't enjoy the kid and his acting. I don't understand their relationship. And I don't get excited by arm wrestling. And that's a huge part. So it is the Rocky of arm
Yeah,
wrestling. I agree.
that's a problem.
just-
then.
I just don't get it. Like the kid is annoying, the sport is annoying, and then we see a real arm break in the film, and I just don't like that.
Like,
You'll see-
like arm breaks in real life, like by
Yes.
accident in the film or something.
Yes,
Oh,
There's
God.
footage
In the
from a real like arm wrestling competition in the movie. Yeah. But
And
like
like you
rap-
hear a snap and someone's like, ah. Like,
if
it's-
you aren't looking for it, you won't notice it.
Oh, I wasn't looking for it. I noticed it when I did a rewatch right away. Kyle, you'll
Okay.
see it. They do film real arm wrestling events, and there was an arm break that they kept for the film. I'm like, why would you keep that? It's quite.
Hey, can I share one of my guilty pleasures, the things I like to watch? Since we're kind of
Don't tell me. Is it going to be arm breakings on?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. People watch that. Sorry. Okay.
He's
Okay,
listed
not
as-
to edit it out, but sometimes if I get high, I like to look at weird shit on Reddit, and by God, there's some fucked up stuff. Holy cow! Like
Oh,
I
sure
saw
there is.
a subreddit of
humans,
people, like
we're the
cutting
worst.
themselves and stuff. Like it's weird. That's not
Sorry,
that's not my guilty pleasure. I was going to say.
What's your guilty
Um,
pleasure?
My guilty pleasure is watching those slap competitions where like people slap each other in the face.
I knew Brian was gonna die. Right, you're the opposite.
That?
I fucking love it, man. It is so hilarious. Men doing it, women doing it. It is like, seeing the chalk go off like their head.
So you're the audience. I know there's an
Yes.
audience. Okay, there's a huge audience. It's a big sport. Stand
Yeah.
there, get your head. Oh, watch my face get kicked in.
Rocky would be awesome at the slap competition. He'd be
Yeah,
like
I guess he would.
undefeated.
Yeah, he would.
Now
be,
that
'cause
is
he
something
did-
I don't get. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
All right.
moving on. Ooh, we have one from our favorite Italian Australian, Eccentric Views. I collect those Rocky figures and have a bunch of them. Yeah, do you want to provide context for this, Ryan?
Just really quickly, yeah, Kyle. Last episode we talked about, or it was brought up naturally in the conversation about the Rocky, and this is a big thing today. We're going to bring it up again. You'll see. But yeah, basically there was a toy line, and somebody comes up later that explains it, so I don't have to over
Is it
explain it.
Smart Deal Toys?
You'll see how almost. Anyway, so there's collectible figures from the Rocky franchise that were made. That's all. But yeah, I think that's good.
Mhm, okay.
Okay,
So
sorry. Wasn't that like on the old pod, or maybe maybe it was this podcast?
Oh, I'm sure
We
we've
were
talked
talking
about it before.
like they were selling toys like recently from like the Rocky, like this Trans Am. There was like one of those, and we were like shocked that they were still selling like Rocky related stuff all these years.
yeah, I
later.
bought the Trans Am,
Okay, yeah,
but not the like. I didn't even realize that they had like the figures, like there was a Rocky, there's a Polly, there's a
There's
I
a
don't
Santa
know.
Polly. There's
Yeah.
a Polly with a Santa
I said
outfit. Okay, keep going. There's more talking toys. We'll save
okay.
it because there's more coming.
I collect those Rocky figures and have a bunch of them. I almost bought the Polly figure, which now sells for about $2,000 in Australian dollars. Katie, I also love Over the Top. It's one of my favorites. I want to back you up here. Sly was at his hottest for sure. It's a great father-son story with a fun 80s cheese, some great action, and an awesome soundtrack. It's an underdog story, essentially Rocky, but with arm wrestling. Thank you, Eccentric Views.
I'm just gonna take the silence supporting me as the louder voice.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about the silent majority, right? The silent majority are on your side. I'm neutral.
can't-
I have not seen it. So
No, I like they can't be bothered. You know, my email and comment section will be inundated with all the support of Ryan. I'm just bugging. No, I'm
well,
glad you're getting
that's the whole
support, Kevin.
premise behind the silent majority. Like Richard
Yeah.
Nixon always talked about the silent majority. That like there's all these protests, like Vietnam protests and all this stuff, and he would contend that that's the vocal minority, that in
Hilarious.
fact the great silent majority is okay with everything he's doing.
And you can't prove that. It's just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't prove a negative.
Yeah.
You know what Polly says? I'm the unsilent majority. Isn't that what? Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I love Polly. You know, the guy's not that stupid. He
he
has
knows
poor
about those
judgment.
things.
He has
Mhm.
alcohol issues, but
Yeah.
he has a brain on him.
Yeah. Yeah, he has a good brain, terrible liver. All right.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, he'd probably be a genius actually if he didn't drink so much. Because it's like alcohol's not the best for your brain, so it's like
No, I've read that
at
somewhere.
the level he drinks, it's.
Oh, is that what's wrong with my brain?
You're fine. You're doing just fine.
I don't think you have poly levels of alcohol
No,
consumption though.
I'm just teasing. I'm just
So
teasing.
both of you have actually done this show not sober before.
Uh-huh.
That is
that's a
true.
fact.
That is true.
So I don't know if functioning alcoholic or substance abuse is allowed on this channel, but oh well, that's fine.
This is tea. I do have tea this morning.
I have
Alright.
coffee.
I have a
Want some
protein.
caffeine. That was
It looks like there's more love for Over the Top
Oh,
from
yeah, there is more love. Don't worry.
From Pil Sung Korean
I'm just gonna step out. You
kickboxing.
just keep going.
Like Katie, I love Over the Top too. Definitely one of my favorite Stallone movies. Aside from the Rocky series, it's one of the more family-friendly films I can enjoy with my son. P.S. I love Cobra too. Classic Sly, LOL. I also love Cobra, and it's really bad, but I also love Cobra.
Yes, Cobra is the definition of it's objectively a bad film, but it's fun to watch. So I get this what people do with Over the Top. I've already said my piece about that. It just I don't enjoy.
There's no way you'll like it if you don't like arm wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Cobra has everything I love: action, Sly thinking he's cool when he's really like it's such a weird like. Why are you acting so cool? It's almost like, hey, I want you to do a caricature of what a cool person would do. He's got to have a toothpick in his mouth. He's got to wear sunglasses inside of a grocery store, and he's got to have a leather jacket and a cool car and a tough man attitude. I work alone. I fight. Okay, all right, you got it. You know, it's all the things that make somebody cool. But it's like a cool starter pack outfit and everything.
Starter pack, it is because he's got the trench coat, right? Am I remembering it right?
No, does he have a trench coat? I can't remember now.
I know. Now I think I'm misremembering.
And then we have these like demonic bad guys and stuff. It's really
crazy.
Oh,
I forgot about it. It's really strange. It's very strange. But yeah, Cobra. Now, Kyle, have you seen Cobra?
I don't think
I want to say 1986.
No,
you're right. I think it was 86. Overtop was after.
Yeah.
And that was his wife at the time. Bridget Nielsen was in that film. That's right, doing that model shooting. Yeah, she looked way better in Rocky IV than she does in Cobra.
Yeah, she has like a red wig or something. Yeah.
Okay, so no, this last one's big. So bear with us, folks. Buckle in. And I really liked what this message was given to us by. I'll let you announce it. But I really like this, and I have a fun clip I think we'll enjoy. But this is really cool, and I want to give props to this comment. So go ahead, Katie, and read that one.
This is from the real Hector Canales, our favorite wrestler. Donald mentioned the action figure, and you guys kept the ball rolling. If there's one thing I know more than wrestling, it's Rocky. And the Rocky action figure toy line by Jakks, Jakks Pacific from 2006. I've been reviewing them for a couple of years now. The story of how the line was developed is fascinating. The man in charge of making WWE action figures kept pitching the idea to executives. In early 2006, he presented mock-up figures at a Japanese toy fair without having the rights to Rocky Balboa or the likeness rights to anyone except Hulk Hogan, aka Thunderlips. After significant interest from retailers, Jakks Pacific secured the Rocky license, which was perfect timing because Rocky Balboa, the movie, was in mid-production. Jakks produced incredible action figures, creating almost every main character, which had never been done before. The story is much longer and a bit sad, as the toy line was cut short and canceled, and the remaining figures were released without any fanfare, except for me, as I collected nearly every piece sold in stores. I'm missing a few, including the Santa Pauly. Well, it looked like you could buy it for about $500.
Yeah, he
Hector.
goes on to I think he
Okay.
talks about that. Yeah.
The Polly figure wasn't sold in stores, but was given to Jack's Pacific employees as a Christmas gift.
So
If
that's
you,
part of that gives you the clue that we didn't know that. That's partly why it's hard to find. It was never sold in stores. This according to Hector, which I think he follows this very closely. So that I don't know if that was ever sold in stores. The Santa outfit. That's why it's so expensive.
well, he said remaining figures were released without any fanfare.
Oh, okay.
And he said he's missing a few. Like Hector is missing the Santa
Did you
Polly.
say right here the Polly figure wasn't sold in stores but was given to
Oh,
Jack?
you're right. You're right.
Polly.
Yeah. That
So-
Polly
so-
figure.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
You're right. So, apologies. That Polly figure wasn't sold in stores, but was given to the employees as a Christmas gift.
So that's
if you look,
crazy. That's crazy.
if you look back, if you look at the back of the card, it doesn't show other collectible figures or anything like that. Instead, it lists every Jack's Pacific employee. Oh, that's
Okay,
cool.
so on
Okay,
that,
so
I was
we-
like, go ahead, Kyle.
He's talking about the Polly figure. Is this the one you mentioned earlier that goes for like $2,000?
I believe so. It's the Santa one. It's the
Okay,
Santa.
so that kind of explains why it would there's very few of them made. I guess that's why they go for so much money. Would I be right there?
So it could have been 100 employees. So he's saying that this Christmas, correct me if I'm wrong, Hector, this was given as so the Santa one makes sense, right? It's a Santa figure given to the employees of the Jack's Pacific Toy Company. Here's Polly. It's like a Christmas grab bag. And then instead of on the back, you had the written other. What do you say on the back of it was
Like
written,
the other figurines.
Yeah, that's right. So it's on the Polly one. What was written on the back was the employees, like Katie,
That's really
Kyle,
cool.
Ryan, George,
It is
Scott.
cool.
But then people are like, "Oh, this is great and all, but I could probably get a couple bucks." So somebody sells theirs, and somebody says, "Oh, they just made $500. I'm going to sell mine." And so now that's how you get them. So if you own this one, it's kind of cool. It's even better story. I think this was a gift. This was never sold in stores.
Do you ever wonder if like the people in like the factory in China making this stuff looks at it and judges us? They're like, why are they buying this shit? Like this is some weird guy dressed up as Santa.
Well,
Yeah, if you're an
probably.
employee, I mean, if you were an employee of this toy company and you didn't like Rocky, yeah, of course you'd sell it, right?
Yeah, but Kyle's saying if you're making this in the toy factory in China, they must be. What are these Americans? What are
yeah. Why are they buying this shit? Like this is
Why did-
because they don't know who Polly is probably or any of this.
Why
Why
do they
was-
have this drunk Santa?
I would argue they're probably wondering that about 99% of the shit we buy.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
are you buying this? Okay, we're such
Okay, keep going.
consumers here.
Yeah. That
Oh,
figure.
Yeah, he says that figure still on its card is now worth nearly $1,000.
That's
only-
U.S. dollars, which makes sense if it was 2,000 Australian. What a give or take. So that makes sense. So yeah,
Yeah, the exchange rate's not that bad, but I think Australia in general is more expensive. Things seem more
Oh, okay.
expensive down there.
all right.
Well, yeah,
So
everything
I-
has to be shipped. They're
so I
so
think
far
the-
away.
I think the Australian dollar, it's a bit weaker than the Canadian dollar, but it's like still not 2 to 1.
So
Mhm.
this figure goes, let's say, easily anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500. Yeah.
Yep. Only a few were made, and the man who started the toy line lost most of his collection during the Malibu fires earlier this year.
Oh, wow.
Man.
That's horrible.
Oh, the only characters not made in this toy line are Mike/Jimmy/Guy.
Slash guy. I love how he says Mike/Jimmy/Guy.
You know, you're a real listener if you put that in the.
Yes. Rocky Jr. at any age.
And it's Seiko the robot.
Seiko the robot. A different toy company made it recently.
That's
That
true.
seems like it would be a big one people would want.
Yeah, that one you can get. Yeah.
And Little Marie.
Yeah.
However, other characters produced include Mike Tyson, Roberto Duran, and even the meat.
No, we talked about that. Remember we talked about the hanging meat? That they made a toy out of the hanging meat?
Oh, oh my God. I forgot about that. That was a real thing. I didn't believe you.
I'm sure there's lots of toys called the meat.
At first I thought he was referring to like that was a person's nickname, and I'm like,
Boys
who's-
love playing with the meat.
Who's the
Boys
Yes,
love
meat?
they love playing with the. Your sons will be playing with the meat all day.
Oh wow. He says, "Here's my review of that action figure.
Okay,
He
so I
has
have
the
the clip.
meat. We
have
have,
the clip.
the meat."
We have the meat. So I thought for our viewers, and of course, especially for us three here, I thought it'd be fun to see Hector. We're not gonna play the whole video; it's 7 minutes long. So check out his YouTube channel, The Real Hector Canales. Check out his channel where he does all these reviews of all these toys. He does great stuff with these reviews. But I want to show you his unpackaging. It's about a minute of the actual meat, the meat toy that you can buy. Here we go.
Oh my god, this is so bad.
That meat go bad? It's like
And here's the
brown.
meat. We've already looked at the packaging on the previous figures, especially on the Rocky Balboa.
So that's Hector's voice. Hey, Hector, here you go.
I
So
can't
let's
believe
just
they
look at
made
The
this.
front of this packaging, you've got great display of the meat, and he comes with the slaughterhouse jacket that Polly wears. At the bottom, we've got little sticker that says "The Meat versus Rocky Balboa." That's fantastic. And then on the side, you got a picture of the meat. On the back, you have the prototype picture of the meat, which looks pretty gruesome. Then you've got a bio for the meat, telling us not too much, but enough, and actually making this side of beef a character in the movie. And here is the meat out of the package. From another toy unboxing, I kept this little aluminum holder thing so I could loop it around. Now, I already came with a hook already on it, but this little extra hook that I put on it helps me display it better for you guys to see it. And it's really detailed. It's like horribly detailed real nicely. The
Good
material
keychain
is
to
like
have, you know,
What's that?
good keychain to have on your keys. It's like it's
Yeah.
a conversation starter.
I am
Isn't that
horrified.
Here, well, let's take a look at the jacket. So it comes with the slaughterhouse jacket. Check it
Oh
out.
my god, I'm like literally nauseous. I kind of want to throw up. This
Put
is
in
disgusting.
I can
a
see
broken
it,
rib or
right?
two somewhere around here. And
It's a
here's the
poor
jacket that the
cow.
meat came packed with. It's got all these blood stains on it, which is pretty gruesome. It's got all these other marks on it as well. Honestly,
It's got poly.
Why is
barb.
it yellow? What I mean, why are those stains yellow? This is the worst toy ever made.
Okay, I just want to see if Hector does. Oh, there's Polly. He's
Oh
got
my
Polly. He's got
puts-
He's
Polly.
looking pretty skinny there, actually.
I do like that he put the jacket on.
Hector put the jacket on the Polly figures. Check it out.
It fits well. Whoever
Yeah.
designed
And it's
the jacket
actually-
had the action figure specs in mind, which I appreciate.
I think he's hanging the meat from some dragon.
It
tail or
almost
something.
like the belt around it reminds me of like a gi, and like if
Yeah.
you're a new karate person, you have like your white belt.
pretty heavy too that I had to bring in my Godzilla figure just to hold them up. And adding the jacket to the meat really enticed me into buying the meat because, like I said, I was not going to buy this piece of meat.
they threw in the jacket. You know what? If we're gonna sell you a piece of meat, we should probably close sold separately. I was hoping you'd have a Rocky figure punching it, but okay. All right, so go check that out, guys. The Real Hector Canales does all the reviews of all the toys from that line. So there you go. That was I wasn't joking, Katie. That was a real toy.
I always appreciate hearing the voices of our fans.
Yeah.
Like we heard, I got to see Gino and hear his voice,
Yep.
which was cool. And then now I kind of saw Hector. You know what his hand looks like, and now we heard his voice. So it's like I
Yeah.
don't know. It makes it seem more real, I guess.
They're real people. I promise you. I don't send these emails to
right.
Ryan has made up all these characters. Gino's a paid. That's my conspiracy theory. That Gino is not really. That's just a paid actor in Australia.
That's right. Well, they're all actors in Australia, aren't they? All right. Well, there you go. So where we last left off, for Kyle and for our listeners, Tommy and his girlfriend are about to leave the residence George has dropped off all the Christmas gifts, and this is that famous sequence when Rocky goes out to talk to Tommy at the car, and there is a couple of extra little scenes. You'll see that start off right away. Go ahead.
Hurry up and get to this party. I can't wait to show you off.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Poor guy.
Now, I just love that cutout scene. So there's a couple things that happen really quickly. So they leave the house, and Karen's like, "I can't wait to show you off." Do you hear that? Like,
Yeah.
to her friends, I guess. Like, look at this hot up and comer #1 ranked boxer I'm with. So she wants to show him off to her family and friends. And then I love you got like a drunk George yelling "Merry Christmas" to jingling bells as the limo drives off the street. I don't know. That was
What
not
did
in the
Tommy
original
say
cut.
about him? I missed that.
About George in that
Well,
moment?
he said something to Rocky just before you stopped the clip.
Okay, sure. Let's go back 5 seconds.
Merry Christmas! Poor guy. Hey, Tommy,
Something about look at that guy or what a guy.
What a guy. Yeah,
What a
I
guy,
think what a
okay.
guy.
What a guy. Even he's kind of embarrassed. Like, yeah, it's this little cringe, as the kids say. All right.
what you want to talk to me about?
Is the car unlocked?
Yeah. So, what do you think?
Hey, Tommy, what you want to talk to me about?
Isn't it a long drive?
Yeah.
It's a little bit different there. So she says in the work print, "Is the car unlocked?" Tommy says, "Yeah," and then she asks, "Now, isn't it a long drive?" Then he says, "Yeah."
Also,
then-
even if it was locked, you could unlock it. The top's down.
Yes, thank you, Katie. I was just about to say that.
That's maybe why they somebody maybe
Probably.
pointed that out to them, and they're like, "Is it a long drive?"
Is it a long
Instead-
drive?
Yeah, maybe she's just like an airhead, right?
Well,
She's a redhead
clearly.
for sure.
Yeah.
But
So, what do you think?
Well, where'd you get this from?
Duke gave it to me.
Tommy,
Hey, maybe you want to give this thing back, Tom.
And I knew it. I knew you were going to say that. Give it back? Why? I mean, the guy likes the way I fight it.
it's almost 10.
I will make it.
Yeah, I know, but, you see what he's doing here, Tommy. Hey, don't let him put nothing between us, okay? We got something good going.
Put like what? I mean, the guy was just talking about getting a shot.
Well, we don't need him, you know what I mean? I mean, you're going to get a shot, you're going to be able to buy 10 of these things.
okay, so Tommy gets defensive right away. It's funny. Old Rocky says, like, maybe you should just return the gift. I don't think we need this, And it's all very like Rocky, to his credit, is being very sound, very calm. You can feel the tension rising, but he's like, we don't need the gifts to get the title shot. Like, we'll get the title shot. You're kind of putting the cart in front of the horse a little bit here. And he even says, though, like, once we get that title shot, the old-fashioned way without being bought, you can buy 10 of these. Like, this will come. Like, even Rocky, because Rocky lived that way. He knows money will be there. You can get a lot of these cars.
Man, this really speaks though. Like Ryan, like as a fellow parent, the young people don't fucking listen.
Yeah.
They don't listen. They want, if they have something right now, they want that. And if you tell them, hey, slow down, be patient, wait, take your time. That is not how that's not how they think, man. Like, he's a young dude. He's getting some action from the redhead. He's like, someone's gonna give him a nice car. He is not gonna be like the patient, like, okay, yes, I don't need this. I'm just gonna take the bus or drive some piece of shit car. Like, no, he's not gonna do that. Like, that's why you need a Mickey who'll be like, get the hell away from him. You drive that car, I'll chop your face off. Like, you need something, like, you need a strong hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, delayed satisfaction is becoming increasingly more difficult to sell.
Yeah. And it's like young people like this, they
Mhm.
don't like delayed satisfaction. I was no different at like 20 years old.
Right.
Right? Like,
So hold up. We got an emergency guest who just popped in. UK Dave. That's UK Dave, by the way.
UK Dave.
Yeah.
Hey.
So Dave, let me know. I think he was supposed to do something. Hopefully, I didn't miss the boat. So David had the fight. He had his charity fight.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So he sent me a message saying there is a video, and I don't think he sent it to me. So that'll have to be next episode because he wanted Kyle to break down the fight. He said it wasn't going to be much of a breakdown, apparently.
Fight last night. Did you win?
Second
Who'd you
round.
fight, Dave?
What happened? What happened?
I would love to break down your fight. Send a link, and I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, so I don't know if he has it ready to go now. If we could do it on the fly, you could send the link to my my Gmail there, and we can I can download it very quickly and put it up here. But if you can't, it's fine. We can do it next episode. But David fought. The important thing is he did it for charity. Charity hurts sometimes, and yeah.
It is nerve-wracking fighting. I haven't fought a ton. Like I've fought in like karate tournament stuff like that, but it's scary. It's not
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's a win or lose. Like I have admiration for anyone.
Well, he lost.
Going back in the ring with him, kid.
Yeah, I think he lost. I think it was a lose.
It happens,
David,
man. It happens.
It does. It happens to Tyson. Tyson lost. Don't worry about it. He's waiting for the video to come through. So he doesn't have it yet. Okay.
I still get nervous watching Rocky movies before his fights. Like I know the outcome and I still get nervous. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to David. If you're okay with us watching it, maybe having some fun with it, we'll love to do that. But like Kyle was saying, yes, in all seriousness, good job. You did it for charity, and you did. It took guts to get into the ring. Yeah, it's good job. Okay.
Yeah, not a lot of people are willing to get punched in the face, or the body.
No. Or the balls. That's
Actually, I have seen this one video.
Oh no! Here we go.
Is this an alternate take on the slap fight?
Okay,
we'll talk after the show.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We gotta keep it at least Madame DuPont rated. That's the highest we can go in the show. Okay. All right.
Rock, when you gonna wake up, man? We're watching the parade go by.
What parade? What are you talking about?
The
What
big
parade?
time. Man, the way I'm going, I'm not gonna get a shot at the title for a long time.
This is
Man,
time.
Okay. Wait. I'll say my comment here. Okay, after he says his record here.
I've got a perfect record. I'm 22-0.
At this rate, Tom, you just said you have had 22 fights in 3 months, and you're number one now. Like, what rate are you talking about? This is the fastest rise of any boxer I'm aware of. Am I crazy here, Kyle? Is this not a fast rise?
Well, yeah, 3 months or whatever, 22 fights. This is impossible.
He acts like he's 32 or something. Like he's Rocky's age. He's 19, maybe 20.
But 22 fights is a lot. I think to his point, he's like, I feel like I've earned my right. And this guy's telling me I have.
He's getting up there, but that's not like like he's around the time. Like it's if you have you're right. Like if he has 22 fights, undefeated, you're in the conversation. I think though there's more than just a good record that gets you a title shot. And that being said, though, Rocky has the influence where he could probably arrange that. But it seems like in this universe, Duke has the power, right? Mm-hmm. Like Duke owns the top fighters, specifically Union Kane, the champion. So, like from Tommy's perspective, it makes a lot of sense cozying up to Duke to get that title shot, right?
Well, I'm not saying I'm not saying he is. He's been duped by the Duke, but it's understandable. Like it's not crazy.
Oh, sure. Yeah, and like honestly, like I was saying too, it's like when you're young, like your perception of time. Like I remember, for example, at like 23 years old, finishing college and thinking I was really behind. Because I started a few years late. I'm like already 23.
Yeah.
And now I look back at that and I'm like, oh my God, right? Like you're so young at 23. But I think it is common to have that feeling like things are going by too fast, or you have this timeline in your head when you expect things to happen and it's not. And so I think Tommy's a super normal person here. Like I actually think the way it was written here is like totally believable.
Well, Rocky isn't really offering anything specific. Like he is not sharing with Tommy, here's my plan to get you there. He's just being vague.
And I also am annoyed, and I'm not saying that shouldn't be in here, but it's just like I'm annoyed by the girlfriend, Karen or whatever her name is.
Karen, yeah.
Yeah,
Super
being like, come on, let's go. It almost reminds me of a child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, when a child's bored and they want to leave. And
she's a spoiled brat, and she's a paid mistress. Yeah.
Yeah, and she doesn't like Rocky. She's probably told not to like Rocky, right? Because Rocky's the enemy.
Well, not just that. She was probably told to get Tommy out of there quick.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And so it's like, I think maybe Rocky feels rushed. Like, you're probably not going to hash out like the specifics here, but to Katie's point, I think that Rocky could have at least said, "Hey, you know what? Let's sit down. I know you're leaving for this party now, but like, let's sit down. Basically between Christmas and New Year's, let's map out like a path of getting a title shot." Instead of being like, "Well, it'll come eventually. You'll be able to do this," like some vague thing like that. I agree. That's kind of.
But even up until this point, clearly
Sure.
Tommy has probably been saying, like, because he keeps saying, "When am I going to get a title shot? Am I going to get one now?" And Rocky's like, "Sure, yeah." It's like,
yeah, it sucks. It's like it's like when your parent is like, "Yeah, one of these days we'll go to Disneyland."
yeah.
Well, when are we
yeah.
going? When are we going to Disneyland?
Louis brings up a good point here. Louis says, he says here, Tommy is done with slumming it. He's clearly already a top contender, and it isn't a situation where he's getting now what's this word, a Pyrrhic victory? Do I know that word?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a big word
here.
Yeah,
we're dumb down for us.
Yeah, I'm like Rocky. I dropped out of 9th grade there.
Pyrrhic.
Pyrrhic sounds like a proper word. I don't know if it was a misspell or if it's some sort of like.
We're just ham and eggers over here.
So he goes on to say that will harm him later. So Rocky doesn't intend to, but he's essentially living vicariously through Tommy taking on the role of Mickey. So I agree. That's sort of the problem with Rocky that he fixes later when he trains Adonis, is that he hasn't found himself yet as a trainer. So he's relying too much on Mickey when he's Rocky. If he allowed to be more Rocky and use Mickey isms, but trust himself as a trainer, I think he could have been a better trainer at this point, but he just wasn't ready yet. He even said, like, he admitted, "I'm not a trainer. No, that was the other guy. I'm just the trained guy." So even he recognizes his own inability, but he gets there later. But Tommy goes into the next, right away. Where's the money? Where he's focused on the bling. He gets a taste of it because he's got the girl, he's got the car. What does Tommy want? More girls, more cars. Right?
Where's the money? Where? Man, we haven't made any serious money yet, and we won't without the man.
I ain't talking about the money. Look, the money is gonna be there, but I'm talking about your rep, Tommy. Don't sell out, we don't need this guy.
Listen, Duke is a wonderful man. Put the top on.
Hey, forget about the top, would you? I'm signing papers with the man tomorrow.
Oh, listen to me, Tommy. You sign them papers, you're like his property, so you got no control. This is a dirty business.
Okay, so we're going to get into this monologue here that Rocky is giving. Obviously, Sly wrote this film. This is Sly telling the audience what he feels the boxing business is in 1990, is my understanding.
Additionally, this is probably just like a device for this scene, but this is Philly in December. The top would not be down. Yeah.
He sure hell wouldn't. I feel like he wanted to keep it up just because she told him not to.
Yeah.
Probably like 2 blocks later, he's like, "Okay, fine, I'm gonna put the top on. It's because I want to, not because you want it."
So Louise tells us a Pyrrhic victory, that's Pyrrhic victory, equals essentially winning a battle to lose the war. So back to his original comment, he says he's clearly already a top contender, and it isn't a situation where he's getting a Pyrrhic victory that will harm him later. Boy, Louise. Wow. Look at you with big words and everything. Okay. Now, so again, this is Sly's statement about the boxing industry at this time. Would you guys agree? This is what he's doing? No?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think so. Like, especially especially since Duke is based after Don King, who is a notorious, well-known scumbag, right? So clearly, this is Stallone's way of saying the boxing world's corrupt, and I don't think anyone would disagree with that. Anything that's a big business has corrupt people. Like, anything with a lot of money is going to attract a certain kind of person. Wall Street, big corporations. Like for instance, CEOs have a way higher rate of sociopathy than other professions. And that's because people who are sociopaths, they're psychopaths, make it to the top. They're willing to do whatever they need to do to make it to the top, or normal people are less likely to be that way. So it's like boxing is no different.
That probably explains my lack of success in life.
Same. Yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Bullshit, guys. You guys are successful. Like
Nobody.
you measure.
You're right. Like I can tell that I'm not a sociopath because I have no desire to keep climbing that ladder. I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
good.
that's right. That's right. Like
Yeah.
you're not like money is a means to an end, not an
Mhm.
end to it of itself. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe I noticed this before, maybe not. I can't recall, so I'm going to say this is the first time I noticed this. Did you see the license plate?
I was going to comment on that. I hadn't. I don't remember noticing that in the past. but
I don't
did
know
notice it now.
if you were to ask me again 10 minutes ago, what is the license plate that the car has? I wouldn't be able to answer.
No, same here. Same here. Like
Katie, would you have been able to answer that question?
I wouldn't.
Honestly?
No, I would have been able to guess a multiple choice, but I wouldn't pull it out of thin air. No.
So let's
Yeah.
say for the record, none of us knew the answer. So
Mhm.
for our listeners, the license plate that Tommy's driving is T Gun.
oh, hold on too. Am I wrong? Is it like T dot gun? Which
It
I
looks like
find-
there is a period there, which I don't think you're allowed to have. And all that.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I've never seen a dot like that.
Hey, the Duke, man, the Duke can erase medical records. He can.
Guy
Yeah.
gets shit done, man. He goes to the
It's just a white
DMV.
sticker that they put on.
Yeah, yeah, it's probably it.
But yeah, I don't think this is a real license plate.
Yeah.
I think it is a movie prop slapped on the back of a car. Don't worry. But yeah, I would challenge any of our listeners, and please comment or email us. And yeah, we didn't get any emails because people are following Kyle's advice by saying it's too hard to email us. But
It is very difficult to
stop listening to Kyle and send us an email. Let us know if you truly knew that the license plate said T-Gun before we commented on it. Could you have answered truthfully? That's what you would have told us. I dare say, I don't know. I've never noticed till it's paused in this moment.
Yeah.
It's full of these thieves and gangsters, you know, and they promise every good young fighter who comes along, they promise them the world, and they suck them dry, and they leave them when they ain't worth nothing, they leave them in the gutter broke, Tommy. That's the way this business is run. Look, the guy's like Duke. You know what he is? He's a vampire. He's living off your blood, Tommy.
Now, again, I know it's not, the greatest acting on both people's parts. We've mentioned this already. Sly's doing pretty good here. He's fine. He's fine right here. But I'll say as well, Tommy Morrison's doing a good job showing at least the audience that he's sort of listening to Rocky. There's a part of him that's still kind of like he's hearing Rocky's plea. Like he recognizes that Rocky's plea here is genuine, and Tom at the very least has to believe that Rocky believes it. So if Rocky believes this is true and he is a seasoned champion, why would he be telling me this stuff? Is it because he wants my money, or does he really care about me? So there's a part of him that, yeah, he's recognizing. I think Rocky cares about me. He's truly kind of conflicted. Like, oh man, do I dump all this and go back to this guy? Like you kind of see in his face. I actually appreciate that little subtle look that Tommy has. Is like you can see that some of this is hitting the mark,
or the fact that the car is moving but not very fast.
Yeah,
right?
That's a good point.
Right.
Too.
So it's like
not yet.
He hasn't quite stopped listening to him, but he isn't speeding away yet. So it's like he's kind of in the middle. To me, it really just seems like I think emotionally he wants that money, he wants the girls, he wants all this stuff. And I think when you really like have an emotion like that where you want that, you'll rationalize your way to get it. And Rocky's interfering with that rationalization, which is causing conflict in Tommy's mind. And then, he'll have to make a decision, right? To speed away or to stop.
I wonder what he'll pick.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, that
whole come in.
Yeah.
Adrian's got to get him some stovetop, and it's going to be a good night.
Well, we're going to see the scene, but right now there's a moment where Rocky's connecting, Tommy's sort of listening, and it's interesting to see how the fight falls apart, or the pleading falls apart and turns into more of anger. And this is very telling. This is actually, again, very well written human interactions where fights can kind of veer off the original path, so to speak, when something is insinuated as an insult. All right, here we go.
You know, the thing I'm trying to do is what Mick done to me. He tried to keep me away from the dirty part of the business. The way I'm trying to do for you, man, I ain't you.
And you ain't Mick. Man, when are you gonna understand that? When are you gonna understand this is a business? And a business you need...
What, brains?
You said that, not
Is that
me.
what you're saying? You're saying I got no brains?
Look, Rocky, you took me as far as you could, but Duke gave me my title shot. You didn't.
Okay, so now insinuated because Rocky assumed that now was Tommy going to say the word brains, or was he going to maybe say something to the effect of like business savviness, maybe, or like what would have Tommy said had Rocky not assumed right away? Because Rocky steps on it before he even gets it out. Brains? You saying I don't have brains? But there's a slight hesitation. I think Tommy was going to maybe say you might need to like. You don't know this side of the business, Rocky, or something to that degree.
I don't think Tommy knew what he was going to say. That's kind of the vibe I got from that. It's like you need like kind of in your head what it is, but like putting an actual word to it can be hard. And I don't think he had brains in his head and was hesitating to say something else. It's not the vibe I got. I could be wrong. It's just my interpretation, but
no, I think it's just as easy as that. Yeah, I mean, because there's no indication we know what he was going to actually say.
But like you could say business acumen, something which I don't think is a word Tommy would use. But
Yeah, well, I don't think he was going to say brain like Rocky. Tommy was going to insinuate that Rocky is not up to the task, which he does say later. He would have verbalized it
which is true
in some way.
Which
Right,
is true. I don't
yeah.
think Rocky was that capable of getting a title shot in this universe because Duke is the one who has control.
He's not wrong. Like this is a business, and Rocky, they're both right. Tommy's right. This is a business, and Duke is getting me, what I need. You're also right, Rocky, that you were shielded from this ugly side of it by Mickey. But you know what? You're not Mickey, and I'm not you. Like they're both very right.
You know what I would have said in this moment if I was like really pissed off and wanted to hurt his feelings? Because Rocky was like, they'll leave you in the gutter broke. And they'll be like, well, Mickey must have not done you that much good because look where you are despite him helping you.
Good
you're in the gutter
point.
broke.
Oh boy.
Oh, you didn't have very good business sense, did you? You lost all your money.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why would I trust you to run my business when you got
good point.
fucked?
Well, actually, that's probably what he was going to say. I think you guys nailed it. That's what he was thinking. You're back where you started. So, because he says here, you took me as far as you can go. Boxing wise, great. I am the best boxer I ever could have been thanks to the training of an ex-champion who beat Drago and Apollo. Awesome. However, on the business side of things, you're living in the slums, and I don't want to live here. Can I move on?
And he's saying if you want to keep trading me, then do it. If you don't. Like, honestly, like I think Duke's a prick. I can understand why Rocky does not want anything to do with him.
Of course.
But it's like, Stallone is a trainer. He's not a manager. And I don't think he's really keeping him away from that much. Like, by keeping him away, what he's really doing is just totally isolating him from everything, but then not actually fulfilling that role himself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, and to be fair, neither did Mick.
Right.
Other than giving him hand-picked matches at Rocky up to in the beginning of Rocky 3, that's the only managerial move we've ever seen Mick do, because the first two fights against Apollo were all Apollo. Mickey had nothing to do with setting those up whatsoever. And in fact opposed it just because he thought Rocky was unhealthy. So like I don't know. Like I don't think he learned much from Mickey in terms of managing either. Like he says this dialogue about Mick keeping him away from all this stuff, but you don't see that at all.
Yeah, and we don't really see who his manager. We assume there was one in Rocky 4, like a manager of sorts.
He managed himself. Just like
I think he's self-managed.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So now, go ahead.
It just, to me, it would make sense if you had someone like Duke take the role of manager. I think Duke knows that boxing business. He's respected in that. He has a good head on his shoulders. I still don't know if Duke could get him the title shot, but you just need someone else. Like, if you're not going to, Duke isn't Tony Duke.
Yeah.
Like you need someone else. Like if you're going to say stay away from George Washington, Duke, great. But unless you're willing to actually step up and be a manager, like I could see why Tommy's doing this.
I think one of the things that kind of irks me about Rocky movies is that manager and trainer are one and the same, and they are two different roles.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway. Go on.
I know, but I think if you have to take each scenario and answer the question, who is managing who? So Rocky 4, Rocky was managing himself. There you go. That's the answer. You always
Okay.
have to take each.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. It's unclear if you look at it as a whole, like what each one does. But just in Rocky 4, he managed himself. In Rockies 2 and 3, he was managed, or Rockies 1 through 3, he was managed and trained by Mickey. You know what I mean? So
Mhm,
in this film, Tommy's trained by Rocky, managed really by nobody, because that's where Duke steps in. He says, there's no paperwork on this guy. He's not your manager. You're not in business with Balboa Productions. Like, yeah, okay. So now Rocky will continue his plea.
And if you want to keep training me, then do it. But if you don't. But it's my way, it's the highway.
I thought he had more to say. I forgot. This is where he drives away. Well,
Do you think he's going to make a full stop at that stop sign up there?
Yeah, it looks like there's a brick wall there. Does he smash through that wall? I can't remember. Let's watch here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, he went through.
He ran a
went
stop
through,
sign.
Yeah, he ran a stop
Broke
sign.
the law.
He broke the law.
Where's
He
the cop?
also-
Where's the cop that said he'd give Rocky a speeding ticket for running? Where's that cop?
That was a complete 180, purposefully, probably in the script, that it's my way or the highway. And all of 3 months ago, I'll do anything. I'll do anything you say.
Yeah. Well, a lot's changed in 3 months. He's got
Yeah.
Karen. He's got a personalized license plate with a nice
He's
Cutlass
a kid.
sedan.
It's like when kids want a dog. Yeah, I'll pick up the dog's poop. I'll take it for walks. I'll do all of this stuff.
That's so
3 months later, it's like, I'm not doing any of this.
Louise is saying, very accurate, Kyle and Katie. How could Tommy legitimately trust the business aspect of this relationship when Rocky has the same people around and the same behavior he had when he lost his fortune?
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. And Louise thinks that Stallone during that car sequence played it hilariously desperate. I would say it wasn't bad, Louise. However, I will say that the scene with him and Adrian coming up when he's frustrated and angry and he throws his jacket on the ground in frustration, I think that's one of the worst acting, ironically, in this film by Sly. It's hard to pinpoint why. It's just a flavor that I have when I watch it. Tell me if you can see what I'm talking about. When he tells Adrian, I see where we are, Adrian. He slams his jacket on the ground. Something about Sly's delivery of that, it's kind of cringe.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
pay attention because I kind of
I
recall
see it.
liking
I
that.
see it. There's something weirdly. That's the hilarious desperate. That's a great way of putting it, Louise. So I'm stealing that from Louise about the previous scene, but I'm using it even further on that scene. Hilariously
It's interesting.
desperate is a good way to put it.
I agree, Louise. This scene in particular, I like the desperation that comes through, but what
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
but the intonation of like his, again, it's like he's overdoing the Rocky accent
Yeah.
or something,
It's worse. It's worse
Yeah.
coming up. That's what I'm trying to get
Yeah,
at. I think
okay,
it's even
okay.
worse. I think it's even worse in the car scene. Okay. Yeah. So now, of course, the car screeches away, and I guess the stress of the moment combined with the squealing tires is now showcasing head trauma. We're seeing as an audience that's affecting his brain injury, I guess.
Well, I actually buy
know.
this because stress and like
Those stress headaches, sure.
and
yeah.
noises and like that can trigger like an injury or like something
I
that's,
don't disagree.
Yeah.
This is just the biggest plot hole in the sense of if that little moment there causes this reaction here, boy, he sure was able to handle that fist fight later. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you would assume bare knuckle fists hitting you in the face and head with lights and people cheering around you didn't cause any. Like,
I
he
think it
should
did,
have.
though.
It did, yeah. I
did.
think it. There are a few moments within that scene where he sees stuff.
I guess so. I guess sure because he seems very debilitated here is all. But yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, who knows? Like, so I was just thinking maybe the fight, like if you have enough adrenaline kick in for that fight.
Yeah, it's true too. Adrenaline. Yeah, it's a different
Mm.
drug going
But
through. Yeah.
and a doctor, you know.
But I think
No,
it's
but
just
you're
being
right.
triggered here.
It is
it's like-
true. Yeah. It's just to remind the audience, hey, remember why he's not in the ring? 'Cause of
Mhm.
this,
Good
yeah.
point, Ryan.
However, I poke a little bit of fun. It's a very effective though, as like it's effective with the sound effect, the image of Drago, the lighting. It does give you the feeling of pain visually that Rocky's feeling in that moment. So it is effective displaying that.
Rocky, put on your coat. Just put on your coat. Come on. It's not worth it.
Adrian is worth it. He's just confused.
You don't see what's happening on
Yeah, I do see. What are you? You twist around my duke. I see
Come on,
what's
it's
happening.
you. It's you. It's not him. You can't live backwards. Come on, you can't turn back the clocks. We live now. We live here.
Hey, Adrian, I know where we live. What do you think? I'm stupid? I'm not as dumb as you think I am.
Okay, so he's still feeling very hurt by. Now, this is interesting. I will say, this is a great little kind of underlining character arc that's investigated throughout the films. Remember Rocky 2 with the commercials? You know, oh, I'm gonna punch you. I just talk this way. So it's actually a nice little byline that exists in some of the films where the character, he recognizes that he sounds punchy and he comes off a little bit slow or he says things a little bit differently, but he's self-aware enough that he thinks, not necessarily accurately, but he thinks that other people thinks that he's not bright, that he's not the brightest. And even though he's not necessarily, but he actually is self-aware enough to recognize he might not be the smartest guy in the room. But now I feel bad that he thinks Adrian has ever felt that way.
He's still stung.
It's his insecurity, right? He always thinks he's dumb. Like from the first film, I'm dumb, you're shy.
Yeah.
And I think he feels hurt by what just happened with Tommy there. Feels like rejected. Like you have, like, I guess they call it a rejection sensitivity. Like you're feeling rejected there. You feel down on yourself. You feel down on yourself that you fucked up and now you live in this neighborhood. And then Adrian's trying to help you, but she's saying, hey, you don't get it. It's not like this. Which when you're in that, when you've just been rejected, you're going to feel like that's not her trying to help you. That's her criticizing you some more. Okay, and it's like, you're going to lash out and say, hey, I'm not stupid. You think I'm not as dumb as you think I am, you know, like I actually do get this. Like I
Thank
think
you,
Adrian
Dr. Peterson. Love it.
The Dr. Peterson we can all get behind. Is that
with a D? Don't go with the one with the T. That's not good.
Dr. K. Peterson in the house. So yeah, again, I agree. I just no, I'm not even. I hope it didn't sound like I was criticizing. I was actually just showing that it shows that he's still, that he's still. And nobody in Adrian doesn't think he's dumb. She already just said that. Of course, she doesn't think that, and we don't think she's ever thought that. Of course, but I love here he goes. Don't you think I can smell it? Like the idea, like this place stinks. Remember this? Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
Donald got it. This place stinks. We're right back there again. Yeah, he should have brought back this place stinks.
Good point.
There's something with these East Coast cities. I think it's because they're older than out west. These East Coast cities, they don't have like back alleyways for garbage. Mm-hmm. So if you go to New York or Boston or Philly, these big East Coast cities, all the garbage is left out on the front street. And like, I don't know what it's like now, but when I was in New York in the summer, it stunk. Like
there's nowhere else to put it. It has to get picked up on trash.
It has to be up there. Like it's not designed otherwise, right? Like it's dense like that. And it's funny because it's like I'm trying to think. In London, was it like that? I feel like in London it wasn't like that. Like I think they do a better job. Like with
of course they do. I mean,
yeah,
we're notoriously not great at things. Yeah, I do think there's alleys in Philly because the only reason I think that I've never been there is because Polly says go out in the alley and eat the bird.
Well, yeah, I think it's like you have an alley between buildings. But I mean like a back alley,
for
right?
trash pickup,
yeah. In like you see on the street here, there's just garbage on the street waiting to be picked up, right? And that's got to stink. And in reality, it's summer, even though it's not here. It's Christmas time, but in actuality, it probably does for real smell there.
Okay, now my favorite sly acting in this film is coming up. It's subtle. Maybe it's just me. I've seen this movie 100 times, so things you start to pick up or notice. And there's something about his delivery, about throwing the jacket on the ground, the way he acts, his voice timbre. I don't know. It's all there. Maybe I'm overselling it, but
you know, I can smell it. I see what we are. I don't want this no more. I want something good for the family. I don't want this. I don't want this.
coming up. It's coming in. It's after Adrian tries to calm him down here. So I get it. He's angry. He's upset. It's all very understandable as a father, provider, husband, ex-champion, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't want to be back here. He's like, I remember when I was on that bed and said I want to be another bump in the neighborhood. This is really shady situation. Like this, that whole speech kind of goes down the drain a little bit. It kind of doesn't hit the mark anymore because he's back to being he's not a bum, but he's in the neighborhood again. He's kind of back in the neighborhood.
Did I come back here and get my brain?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah,
No, so
back
far
here,
I'm really liking it. So I'm looking. I'm going to be.
No,
looking.
like I said,
Ryan, I feel like you've hyped up how bad this is. So
as
like
per normal,
our expectations of how bad it is are really high now. So that's a high bar to clear. So just prepare for some disappointment, okay?
Well, it's already coming. I know it's. I told you it's subtle, but it's there. But maybe it won't be there. Maybe it's great. Maybe it's. I just want to go back to Louise's hilariously desperate. That's how. There's something about the way he throws the jacket on the ground and his acting in that 2 seconds of acting is really not very long. It will. I've already decided to the fact that it's not going to be there. All right.
I mean, did I come back here and get my brains beat out for these guys to say, hey, there goes Balboa. I'm just another bump in the neighborhood. I didn't want this.
No, come on.
Right.
Nobody says that.
Right. I think it's right here.
I'm saying it, Adrian. I'm saying this. I'm saying this.
That right. I know that part right there. I feel like that part right there is just oddly, weirdly act. That's all. I'm saying this. I'm saying this. I don't know why it feels like it's a bit of a.
I think I got distracted because the subtitles were wrong.
Or were they wrong?
Another punk from the neighborhood.
And it's bum.
Oh, yeah,
like he
yeah.
literally does say, "I'm just another bum from the neighborhood," and the subtitles said punk. Yeah.
All right, never mind.
He's
I'm going to edit
referencing,
everything
of
out.
course.
I'm going to edit everything out. Nothing will be. There's.
Well, no, why would you do that? Because then other people that they can write in.
Okay, you know what? It is not. It's not the best.
Mm-hmm.
This is not going to be where they're going to be when they're at the Oscars and it's like best actor role. This is the scene they're going to show, right? Like it's
just the subtle part. I think it wasn't the jacket throwdown part, so that was my brain misremembering. It was the pickup part.
Yeah,
So the pickup. Go back to the pickup. I just found the way the throw. Like I get it. And Adrian says, and I believe here's the thing. This is a good husband-wife fight, and I don't mean that like my wife and I fight, but there've been times where 15 years of marriage, of course, where I've said something to the effect of like my wife will say, I'll say something about myself, and she'll say, and rightfully so, she'll say, I didn't say that, and I've actually said, I'm saying it. Like you didn't say this, but that doesn't mean I'm not feeling it. So. You don't have to say the words, and that's exactly what Rocky's saying here. It's like, I didn't say that. Rocky's like, I'm saying it. This is what I'm feeling. So I totally on Rocky's side.
I'm just another bum from the neighborhood. She's saying no one's saying that. It's not just that she's not saying what no one else is. And I think what Rocky's saying is it's not the fact that I have a reputation. It's that I feel like I'm another bum from the neighborhood. Because remember in Rocky Balboa, when Mason Dixon got back with his trainer briefly and they were talking.
Yeah.
And the trainer's like, you need the only respect that really matters is self-respect. And Rocky has lost his self-respect here. In his mind, in the way he sees it, he is another bum from the neighborhood. He's a failure. And Adrian trying to reassure him that other people don't think that is not the issue.
Yeah, because it's still what he feels. So again, I love my wife, but I've heard it a few times in 50 years. I didn't say that. I didn't say you said that. I'm saying this is what I'm feeling. Or this is what I'm experiencing. This is the perception of my life around me, or whatever that moment is. Yeah. So that's what he's feeling. I'm saying it. He says, I feel that, Rocky.
There goes Balboa. I'm just another bump in the neighborhood. I didn't want this.
No, come on. Nobody says that.
I'm saying it, Adrian. I'm saying this. I'm saying this. When that kid was in the ring, you know what I was doing? I was winning. When he was winning, I was winning.
You were winning?
Yeah, it was. It was my last chance at getting some respect for us. Do you know that?
I respect
It's gone.
you.
It's gone.
I respect
You can't respect.
Oh, this is the part. Oh, this part too.
You
can
keep misremembering which spot it is.
I know there's a spot here. It's kind of this part here. Anyway, I'm overselling it in the wrong place. This is really a gong show. Yeah, when he says the way you can respect me, I respect myself. Anyway, Sly does an okay job. It's just again, I think there's a little bit of ad lib here is part of the problem.
I like this dialogue though. This
Good
is a
dialogue.
great fight. It's excellent. This is very well written, I think. I think this is like a really good understanding of like the human condition and how someone in Rocky's spot here would be feeling.
Yeah.
And I get what you mean though. Like I think that the way it's acted is not optimal.
Yeah,
for sure.
I've totally oversold the bad acting in the wrong spot, because now that I'm watching all the way through, because I didn't pre-watch this, even though I edited this together a few weeks ago. This is the part after many years of watching it, just the way Sly goes, just that little part there. Again, tell me if I'm off my rocker.
You know what? Other than the fact that they had a fight like this in Rocky 3, this is not Rocky to me. Yelling like this. Like
that's
this is,
probably what it might be too,
you know,
Kyle. Is that it feels a little off character.
Because like the Rocky I know and like from the earlier films, and also kind of the Rocky and Rocky Balboa, he'll kind of be like somber, and then he'll say something and then walk away. Like, you know how this didn't bother me? Well, it did. Or it's like something like that. So I like if there was a scene where like they were say sitting on the step after this fight and talking about it, and he's like, oh, I'm just another bum from the neighborhood, and he's like, you know, she's like, no one's saying that. He's like, well, I'm saying that. You know,
yeah, that could have been.
And then he walks away. You know what I mean? Like if it was kind of like that to me, that's the Rocky.
I don't know, because he was this way in Rocky 1 with Mickey. Like when he's pushed to his limit and he's so effing angry and like he just can't contain this emotion.
You know what? I think you're right. I think that's true. Like there's
took the words out of my way. I was just going to use that example of.
I'm sorry.
No, it's Rocky. Yeah, because there's two instances now. There's Rocky 1 and Rocky 3. Now Rocky 2.
You got it.
Rocky 2, he's more chill. Rocky 4, he's more chill. So there's like it could go either way for him. So him yelling is not out of character. Yeah, you're right.
But generally speaking, though, yes, he's a lot more calmer, subdued, and stoic than like. But when things boil over, like talk dirty to my wife, you know, come to my house and try to pick up, you know, some glory days from my good fortune after 10 years of being ignored. So things will boil to the surface. So it takes a while to get there, but boy, he does. But he gets over it quick after he's done. As we're about to see.
Good point.
You know, he gets it out. Adrian lets him get out, but she does push back. But she's about to do the best, I believe, and I've said this before. I believe this Talia Shire Adrian scene is better than it's better than the beach scene. It's better than the Rocky win moment. Because to me, she's fighting for her family, not just trying to. I love the win moment in Rocky 2. I get it, but now she's saying win for our family. To me, this is the most emotional scene because now Adrian's not fighting for Rocky to get the championship, to win a fight, to be there for the fight in the ring. She's now sort of saying, Rocky, I need you to fight for your family. So I think this is the best monologue coming up from Adrian.
You were winning?
Yeah, it was. It was my last chance at getting some respect for us. Do you know that?
I respect
it's gone,
you.
It's gone.
I respect
You can't respect me.
Yes,
I
I
respect
do
myself.
respect
No, you
you.
can't do it.
I
I'm telling you that.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it. I found it. That's the part. I knew once I saw the moment that Rocky or Sly does this.
No, that's justified. That is justified.
Thank you.
That does
I
suck.
knew it was somewhere. I was like, this is driving me crazy. I sound like a moron. Well, more than Asian. I was like, I know there's a moment in this sequence.
I respect you, Ryan. I respect you.
No, you don't respect me.
No, you don't.
Okay, let's just go back just so you can see that in full sequence again. Now you know what the scene. I knew there was a moment where he acts really weird about. Here we go.
You know that?
I respect
It's gone.
you.
It's gone.
I respect
You can't respect me.
Yes,
I
I
respect
do
myself.
respect
No, you
you.
can't do it.
I
I'm telling you that.
do. All those beatings you took in the ring.
Here we go.
I
Here we
took them with you. I know how you feel. I know when somebody like Tommy comes along, you feel alive. But he's not you. He doesn't have your heart. All those fighters you beat him with heart, not muscle. That's what Mickey knew. That's why you and Mickey were special. But Mickey's dead. If there's something you want to pass it on to your son. For God's sakes, your son is lost. He needs you. I know Tommy makes you feel great. He makes you feel like you're winning again. But you're losing us.
You're losing your family.
Losing you. Adriana, I don't want you to have the best.
I am the best.
Losing you? I'm sorry. It was always you and me. It was always you and me.
Okay, so the workers print added something that I wish they kept in the original.
Mhm.
You know, he. Let me just go back. I mean, okay, number one, is not this the best scene? Like,
I'm
honestly?
teary-eyed.
Yes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I'm-
Adrian, like, or Talia gives a really good performance.
Yes, it's an
She
Oscar-worthy
saves the scene.
performance.
Yeah, like I get the tingles, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
hearing that.
like I literally, my eyes are watery.
I know. I saw you, Kate. It's beautiful. I love it. Okay, so you're going to hear the audio listeners, of course. You're going to hear the quality sound change. That's because that's the workers print. Now it does tie into the very end, but she says, but Rocky said, I was going to lose you. He's now just broken out of his fog. This is the moment he breaks out of the fog. He finally understands, oh, this whole time I've been losing my family. He's dumbfounded. But like, that's it. No more. He's not going to do this anymore. But it took this moment. He's actually legitimately, I'm losing my family. Anyways, and then he says, it's kind of unclear what he says, but Adrian says, I have the best.
He says, I want you to have the best.
Oh, then she says, I have. Isn't that
Yeah.
a beautiful moment?
Yeah.
That was taken out. Why was that taken out?
I don't know.
Yeah, and it makes sense. Like I think, like as from a guy's perspective, like we're wired
Oh, yeah.
either
To be the
biologically or
king,
culturally to
Be
be
the strongest.
be
to be the
providers.
best.
We
Yeah.
we provide a safe home for you. We provide you with things that you want, especially his generation. But I think men in general are like this, and so it's
Well,
like you
yeah.
do. If you're not providing, you feel like a failure. And she's like, you know what? Like, there's more to providing than just money.
It helps.
It helps, but also, you know what? They're not homeless.
No, they're
Yeah.
not.
They're
They have
living
a
in
home.
like they're living in like a normal house.
Yeah.
And he
it probably
brings
feels like shit compared to the house they just lived in, granted, but
Sure.
um,
So let's just watch that last part of before we tie it up. I just want you guys, now you understand again, for our audio listeners, that's why the sound changed. Listen, and just I kind of wish they kept it.
He makes you feel like you're winning again. But you're losing us.
You're losing your family.
Losing you. Adriana, I don't want you to have the best.
I am the best.
That moment there when she's the way Talia acts that part, I have her voice cracks or like cracks, and it looks real. And I
Yeah.
don't know why they cut that out. Why would they take that away from her and us as a viewer?
I don't know, and because it
yeah.
makes the next when he says it's always been you and me. It's always like it makes that even more meaningful. So they should have kept it.
Yeah, odd choice by director Talia. John Avildsen or Rocky or Sludgies.
I
Sorry.
there's something about always been you and me that bugged me for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why, because it's actually not bad, but it's almost like he's still not thinking of his son. It's always been like it's like I wish he would have said something along the lines of like, our family is important to me, not just you and me. But I get it from the same thing. It's like their history extends farther than that too, right?
Yeah.
And that I don't know. This is me being picky and weird. Like I'll admit
No,
it.
no, it's fair. You're
I-
picking
I
word. It
hear-
took me
I
forever to get to
actually-
my worst part of the scene.
I heard it too because he's like, "You're losing your son, and then Rocky's focused on his relationship. But it really is always with Rocky. It's Rocky
Says
and
you lose your
Adrian.
family.
Yeah.
She just tied off with you're losing your
Yeah,
family.
yeah. But in previous times, she's said you're losing your son. I don't know. At any rate, like, I mean, I'm not married, but I would imagine like that the partner relationship is more important because the kids are going to leave. It's always you and me. The kids are going to leave.
At the end of the day, yeah, that's how I feel too. Is like I chose my wife, and even though I chose to have kids, they can choose to like, I'm done with you, Dad, or whatever. Like it's a different relationship where
They go live their life.
Yeah.
I don't agree.
Oh yeah, you
at
want
least
to
for
be with your
me,
kids forever?
Yes, I got to live with my kids forever. To me, like, I love my partner, but it's like, and I have no plans on leaving her.
No,
But
I don't think you will.
like, if our relationship went down a certain path, I would end it. Like,
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Where it's
I know
like
what
with
you
my children,
I'm
it's
divorced. I'm on my second marriage. I've done that.
okay, and with my kids, it's like no, like it's unconditional. Like
Sure.
this relationship is forever. I'm with you no matter what. And if there was some weird hypothetical situation where I'm like, you had to pick between your partner and your kids come first.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I see that point of view. I guess I was just meaning like it's very in keeping with Rocky's love for Adrian, and that
Oh yeah.
they're so rock solid that it's never even a question that he would have to choose, you know?
Yeah, and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
kind
but-
of a false choice. There is no, like, you don't have to
Yeah.
choose between them in reality. It's like they're both there. You're a unit. You're a family.
But it also tracks that he's always had kind of a complicated relationship with his son, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Adrian, it's so clear and simple with Adrian.
He clearly loves Adrian more than his son.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
I guess it's a different kind of love. There's no way
Yeah,
to
yeah.
quantify it. I mean, I have adult children, and we have an amazing relationship. These are the kids from the divorce, so like we have the best friendship. We're like friends, like, and I mean that with like the powerful part of a friendship. Like we're more than. I don't even sometimes I forget they're my sons. We're just so close. We're just like guys. You know,
Aw.
and yeah, it is really neat. And then my other 4 kids at home. So yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is regarding it, but at the end of the day, like I'm glad that scenario will never come up where I have to choose a relationship with Becky and my 4 other kids. It'd be horrible to have to make that, choose a
Mhm.
side, dad. Like, what are you guys doing to me? But yeah, so no, love everybody. That's all I can say. Love everybody as best you can. All right, that's it. That's all I got.
man, like clockwork, right at 10:30.
It's right at the and I have no more video, so I gotta get more video together. So that's perfect. Okay, so remember, Katie won't be here for 2 more episodes. Please don't stop listening. We might still have good things to say, and we're gonna get some guests, co-hosts to fill in. Nobody can replace Katie; they're just there to help. So Kyle and I can bounce off ideas of other voices.
And Kyle has
Katie,
homework. You have
I just-
homework.
What's my homework?
What's this
Remember?
one? Oh, yeah, over the top.
Report
Over the top,
back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Katie, I just want to just tell you, I think going to Central America to drug mule is bad judgment. I think you should reconsider. But whatever you do, be careful.
There was a woman who was just caught at the border with. Did you hear about that? That one?
No. Did she have like
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff in her like
It was.
her prison
I'll
purse,
say
or-
it was. It wasn't in her purse, and it wasn't in her mouth. All right.
Yeah.
I said prison purse, if you know what I mean. by
Oh,
that.
prison purse, I missed the prison. Oh, I've never heard that term. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. All right. So,
Nope.
Kate, why don't you give us the outro? So, with that, this episode is over.
I didn't hear no bell.